like an outbreak, is transmitted all over the world, and it's getting even worse day by day. When poverty takes its toll, nations are torn apart, pulling its growth backward, leaving its people to suffer. They are often left helpless without any further assistance. More than half of the population lives with less than $1/2 a day. Bangladesh is also one of these countries. Bangladesh, with a population of 150 million, is the 8th populous country, with 49% of them living below nation poverty line. Since its independence in the 1970s, the Bangladeshi government has implemented a social policy aiming at the elimination of poverty and social inequality, which are largely funded by international organizations and individual donors. These led up to the uprise of a new idea called microfinance, the subsidized loans given to the poor. In the past 30 years, microfinance has carried many promises of social and economic transformation, with a shift towards targeting women for social development.
Kind of people's banking where you don't need to give any collateral securities for accessing the loans. And it's a kind of institution where the people, mainly the women, they don't have to go to the banks for getting the loans. The banks rather come to the people in the villages. And these women, they form groups of 5, where these groups, they organize themselves into a center, and the bank official, he or she comes to the center, and just the official formalities are the minimum. So the village folk, mainly women, they can get a very easy access to small loans on its own dynamics, because it's quite profitable for the microfinance institutions, because the repayment rate is high, and on the other hand, the velocity of credit, they can roll the money, so the velocity of credit is very high. It is about 3.53. I mean, one loan is multiplied by 3 times.
Bangladesh lays the birthplace of microfinance. Within Bangladesh, microfinance is adopted by Grameen, BRAC, and other private tech sectors, commercial and other international national NGOs, and in total there are 15.53 million sectors which run on microfinance. However, the basic idea of it is still the same. Moreover, it had been a good idea to eliminate poverty for the past few decades.
The BRAC was started in 1972 as a relief and rehabilitation organization in Bangladesh, mainly to rehabilitate the refugees coming back from India after the liberation war. So this is the initial start. It started in a village called Shala in the district of Sylhet. And then it spread slowly, gradually. It changes approaches and strategies and focus on poor, and then it spread in other part of the country. So in 1976, it goes out from that particular area to give services to the poor of this other part of the Bangladesh mine.
BRAC always stands as one of the largest development organizations aimed at poverty eradication and empowering women through its holistic development approaches, which encompass economic development, health, education, and social development. Functioning as a catalyst, it's currently now in Asia, Africa, and in Western countries. Focusing on Grameen Bank, it was established in 1976 in the village of Jobra with an initial capital of $26 lent to 46 families. Dr. Muhammad Yunus, the Chittagong University economics professor with the full knowledge of economics, initiated to implement its theories in practical life, and which gave birth to the great microfinance institution called Grameen Bank.
Grameen Bank was started in the year 1976 as an action research project initiated by Professor Yunus and then the professor of Chittagong University. In the year 1979, the central bank took it as its own project to extend the microcredit, that to give the loan to very small loan initially to the poor people so that they can take an income generating activity and overcome the poverty line. So in the year, so being successful in the project, in the year 1983 the bank became an independent bank. Is that the other banks, they provide loans to the rich people, and Grameen Bank only provide loan to the poor people. The other banks, they need collateral, but Grameen Bank does not need any collateral. Many things, so many depends with the conventional banks and Grameen Bank. So now Grameen Bank at this stage, at the end of 2008, Grameen has become a very big organization. Now there are 7.7 million borrowers who takes loans from Grameen Bank, and every month Grameen Bank on an average disburses $70 million to its borrowers, and about 60 million they are repaying the money.